You're watching the Brotherhood of Gaming video game show, the only video game show that doesn't shoot off fireworks without firestorm. I'm your host, William Morris. Well, boys and girls, it's been an awesome year of 2014. It's been a blast. So many things from the past, from the present to the future, retro games, so much, you name it, it's happened. And now, before we head on to the new year of 2015, we're going to take a step back and look at the top 20 games of 2014.
And have a great New Year's party while we're at it.
Whoa, whoa! Hold up.
Peachy? Well, hello.
I have an opinion on this too, you know.
Yes?
Hey, Will, how you gonna leave me out of this? I'm always your best friend.
Come again?
Oh, I see how it is. You get a few thousand subscribers, and all of a sudden you're too cool for the rest of us.
Come again?
That's just sad, man. Real sad.
Yeah, Will, you're a
Okay, hold up! Hold up! What the heck are all you doing on my channel?
Well, it's obvious they want to be in this video.
Yeah, don't be that way. Sharing is caring. You don't have to hog the whole video to yourself.
It too, Robbie. It too.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, William, but I couldn't resist. The check was fat. I mean, have you seen it?
Still, you can't ignore all these gamers' contributions.
Hey, we're all involved in the video game community on YouTube one way or another.
And we demand our inclusions. For great justice.
I have deliberated this very carefully. I think it is a good idea for me to do as you suggest. So, here's the video. But before we get started, is there anybody else who would like to be involved?
You who? You didn't think you could count me out, did ya? Alright then, let's begin.
The Brotherhood of Gaming presents the top 20 games of 2014. Number 20.
Hello. Well, if you're hearing this, then chances are you've made a very poor career choice.
Five Nights at Freddy's, the whole series. 2012 had the Summer of Slenderman, while 2014 had the Fall of Freddy. This simple yet effective horror game for the PC had you in the role of a hapless security guard named Mike. Your goal is to survive 5, possibly 7 nights alone at the haunted restaurant of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, with only security cameras as your only defense against the automated villains lurking through the dark, drenched corridors, who want nothing more than to stuff your sorry ass inside of a Freddy Fazbear suit. In a very short time, this game made household names out of its colorful cast, which include the characters like Freddy Fazbear, Chica, Bonnie, and of course, everybody's the overall fan favorite, Foxy the Pirate.
Like no other. Flawless. Absolutely flawless.
Quite honestly, this game may be just the latest fad to hit the internet, and some may argue that this game is overly reliant on the jump scares. But be that as it may, the fact still remains that Freddy Fazbear has carved out its very own niche in the survival horror genre. It was so successful that a prequel has already been produced, and a third game is already on the way. Number 19. Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes. I was going to do this one myself, but then I would have to lose one of the ones that I wanted to do, so yeah, I'll let him do it.
Hideo Kojima is either a mad genius or simply mad. Despite spending years stating again and again that the Metal Gear Solid storyline had concluded, he relented to overwhelming fan requests and began production on the 5th entry to this acclaimed series. But one problem. It appears that he bit off more than he can chew and made the game too big. So he came up with the brilliant idea to take the prologue and make it its own game, which is how we got Ground Zeroes. All of what makes Metal Gear so awesome is here in this installment, from the storytelling, the graphics, the tactical espionage, and the side missions, which can be a real treat. The only thing is that you could possibly beat the main story of this game in under 10 minutes. This game is basically a glorified demo for the Phantom Pain, or as we are calling it, Metal Gear 5, the rest of it. That is the main reason why it is so low on the countdown. Its job was to whet the appetite, and it did it so well that it enraged fans when they realized that they will have to wait a long time to see the game in its full glory. Come on, Kojima, give us the main course already.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Number 18, Alien Isolation.
In recent years, we have seen Aliens vs. Predators and Aliens Colonial Marines. However, neither of those games were able to live up to the lofty expectations that the fans of the series have for any game based on the franchise. But thankfully, Alien Isolation fared much better and was more like it. The game has a slow build-up, feeling more like an original movie than the actual counterparts that came later. But once the main stars started showing up, stress really took over and made the game feel like a haunted house in the middle of the dark void. To this effect, the game did feel similar to the first Dead Space. To that we say, good! Dead Space is good! Copy that! The game is a first-person shooter where you have a variety of weapons at your disposal. Now while you must keep an eye out for the xenomorphs, your main threats at the most of the time are those pesky cyborgs. In harder difficulty, your best option is to avoid a fight altogether as your weaponry is barely capable of taking down any foe. While this, for many gamers, may be frustrating, it at least does live up to the name of the survivor horror, as in good luck surviving this horror. Remember, in space, no one can hear you scream.
Number 17, Lego The Hobbit.
Come on, you know we're all suckers for the Lego games. They are simple yet addicting, and they're always fun to play with a friend. In the summer, when Lego The Hobbit was released, Traveler's Tales once again did not miss a beat. Focusing on the first two Hobbit movies, An Unexpected Journey and The Desolation of Smaug, with Battle of the Five Armies on the way as DLC, you voyage through Middle-earth with everyone's favorite Tolkien characters, Bilbo, Gandalf, the dwarves, and many more. All the while working together to solve puzzles and complete challenges with each member's unique skills. And of course, the trademark humor is here as well. It really is amazing how these Lego games, for the most part, are more faithful to the source material than other licensed games. Not to mention fun for the whole family. But for us, the real treat is the music taken straight from the motion pictures. Who knew Lego characters building things could sound so epic? Whether you are a child or a child at heart, Lego The Hobbit is another stud collecting adventure that is a joy to play through.
What have we done?
Number 16, Bravely Default.
Square Enix. When it is not trolling fans with ridiculous announcements, it is an RPG factory. Looking for a new IP to join Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, this year they brought us Bravely Default, which has a really good shot at joining those ranks. An old school turn-based RPG, this game features a unique battle system that shows that you can stay true to old traditions and incorporate new ideas. The game allows good flexibility with numerous jobs, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. And with the game lurking with powerful enemies, you'll need to develop sound strategies in order to survive. The story is classic, JRPG, and full of amusing characters. If you're not a fan of the genre, this game will not convert you. But if you are, you'll be happy to know that the genre still has a great deal of life left in it. And it all fits in the palm of your hand.
If you'll permit me, there's something I'd very much like to show you. But first, I just need to hear it from you.
Number 15, Watch Dogs.
This game's a touchy subject for us. While we did enjoy it, the review we made for this game unfortunately attracted a great deal of moronic trolls, which ruined the fun time we had on this open-world action adventurer. Like Spoonie once said, these are the fools who have turned the YouTube comment section in so many videos into a toilet. If they weren't insulting us, they were fighting amongst themselves. If I sound bitter, well, it's because I am. Anyway, Watch Dogs came into being with a lot of hype as many saw this game as possibly the next Grand Theft Auto. And in our eyes, it came pretty damn close to accomplishing that goal. The large overworld gave our underground vigilante, Aiden Pierce, a chance to dish out justice his own way, armed with the most deadliest weapon of all, his cell phone! There's plenty to do as you tear through the streets of Chicago and search for the ones responsible for your tragic backstory. Not to mention plenty of kick-ass music to listen to. It's not truly understood why Ubisoft held back its visual appeal, not fully delivering on the graphics that it was promised. Yet fans somehow found the coding and were able to make patches themselves. There was a lot of controversy with this game, yet with a good story and presentation, the rated M for mature Watch Dogs made a strong impression, and hopefully we'll have more fruitful exploits in the future with Mr. Pierce.
I hack the city to make him my weapon. My enemies may run Chicago, but I control it.
Number 14, Dark Souls 2.
The Dark Souls series, and don't forget Demon's Soul, has been branded as one of the most difficult campaigns in all of gaming, with Dark Souls 2 proudly living up to that title. This RPG is different from most others that we have experienced. It's not a very story-based game like the previous one with its lore. Instead, it is the gameplay itself that is the main cog in this wheel. A strong character creation and the ability to select from a number of classes gives you the ability to customize your hero or heroine as you see fit to set off in this dark adventure in search of the 4 great souls. The story itself is not presented out in the open for you to see. Instead, you really have to search for it, and when you do, prepare yourself for some of the hardest enemies out there. This game is filled with enemies who can shish kebab you with one hit, but fortunately, there are plenty of items and options that you can use to help you conquer your overwhelming odds thrown against you. The world of Dark Souls 2 will suck you right in if you're looking for a challenge, and does a fine job in capturing the authentic tone of a moody, epic journey. This game has kind of an old school feel. It won't hold your hand. This game will kick your ass and make you come back for more if you dare, you masochist.
Number 13, Pokemon, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
If you look around the internet, you'll find some people say Pokemon is killing Nintendo. If by killing they mean selling millions of units year after year and cultivating a loyal and rabid fanbase, then yeah, Nintendo is almost dead, and the Wii U is killing it too. Okay, but snarkiness out of the way, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphires are a remake of the games that appeared over a decade ago on the Game Boy Advance. Pokemon hasn't changed much over the years, but hey, if it isn't broken, don't fix it, right? Here it is, a good old-fashioned Pokemon game with starter Pokemon, plenty of battling, trading, and of course eventually saving the world. Using the Pokemon X and Y engine, the game keeps that consistent nice 3D look and the land of Hoenn has plenty to traverse. The game is very faithful to the original Ruby and Sapphire and does a good job of giving fans that Pokemon fix until the next big adventure, or remake, that rolls around.
Number 12, Lightning Returns in Final Fantasy XIII. The Final Fantasy XIII series has received more of a mixed response from the general public than John Cena. Some love it, others, well, really didn't. But by hell or high water, Square Enix kept pushing forward, and in 2014, the States received the third leg in this trilogy, and to our surprise, it was actually really good. After setting out for most of the sequel, Lightning is back in the saddle, and this one takes a much different direction than the previous two. Using numerous costumes that all give her different abilities, the battle system is very similar to the Star Ocean franchise. Gone are the hallways. Instead, they are replaced with a vast open world with a large amount of side quests and a Majora's Mask-style time limit, which gives the gameplay an interesting twist. And of course, the game contains a soundtrack that alone is worth the price of admission. While the series may have stumbled out of the blocks, it did in our eyes wrap up nicely and neatly. Hey, you know what they say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's just a shame that it took a couple of flops for this gem to show up.
A deal, huh? I scratch God's back and he gives me what I want. My sister.
Number 11, Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma.
Now, if you like anime, and you like fighting games, then there is no reason whatsoever that Blaze Blue is not on your shelf. Staying to the classic 2D drawn style, the game captures your eyesight and never lets it escape. The game showers you with tremendous visuals and a wild, crazy, unique cast of outrageous, bombastic characters. The fighting is smooth and so much fun, filled with awesome combos and great movesets. There are plenty of tutorials and modes that makes it very inviting for newcomers to this series, but still features plenty of challenge and enjoyment for fighting veterans. With tons of features, a kooky story, great online, and local co-op, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma is one of the more complete fighting games on the market. It is definitely another winner from the awesome Arc System Works.
Number 10, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
If you know about the development it went through and think about it, it's kind of a small miracle that this highly anticipated sequel even made a release. To keep it short, it was not a fun ride, which makes the fact that Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 turned out as good as it is and even more amazing for fans. The story wraps up nicely, making Lords of Shadow 2 a well-made Elseworld tale. The gameplay from the first returns with a few tweaks. Gabriel Belmont returns in an all-new adventure, although not as human as he previously was. He has new abilities that allow you to thrash your enemies with unholy satisfaction. This game contains an open-world style like the Batman Arkham franchise instead of being level-based. It has good voice acting, beautiful music, and plenty of secrets for you to find. This game met the expectations that were placed by the first installment. Whether people think it's a true Castlevania game or not, it does at the very least stand on its own as a memorable adventure worth playing through for those who enjoyed it.
What a timely coincidence. I'm dying for a little drop of blood.
Number 9, Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham.
Lego, and more Lego. This time we are back in the DC universe with Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Once again, this game presents plenty of charm and love for the source material. It's simple, infectious gameplay. Once again, keep you engrossed as you play through a new story that goes all across the universe. Obviously, this should have been called Lego DC Universe. But like that obvious animated Suicide Squad movie called Batman Arkham Asylum, Warner Bros. Needs the Dark Knight to sell everything. It wouldn't surprise us if they wanted to call DC Universe Online Batman and Friends Online, but we digress. Everything we love about Lego games is here, with tons of characters to play with similar to Lego Marvel. And it has icing on the cake. There are plenty of cameos from Conan O'Brien, Kevin Smith, and Adam West. Lego games can be more of the same, but hey, we aren't complaining.
Na 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 Fat Man Kev Smith.
Just another day in the life of a duly deputized crime fighter.
Number 8, Hyrule Warriors.
Combining The Legend of Zelda and Dynasty Warriors? What madness is this? The very notion of this game even being considered drove many hardcore Zelda fans to declare this the biggest blight on the Zelda series since the CDI games. So of course there's no way this can be good. And it wasn't. It was very good. Celebrating the history and lore of the franchise and featuring a ton of fan favorites, this game allows you to go to war with fun attacks that will wipe out hordes of enemies. You must also accomplish objectives, and do so before your own forces get overwhelmed, forcing you to use strategy. The game is even more fun with a friend, as you can divide and conquer. This is a game that proved its critics wrong. The style of this game may not be for everyone, but it does serve as a nice complement to the Legend of Zelda franchise. So, if you're down, pull out your sword and charge head on into battle.
Number 7, Strider HD.
Classic, just classic. This remake energized the good old-fashioned action of the Strider games from days gone by. Strider HD plays out similar to Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The action and combat is very straightforward with special moves and power-ups. This game difficulty is balanced very well, with pretty graphics and fun story to play through. It just goes to show you that certain gameplay styles don't have to go out of style. they could upgrade with time and retain their old charm. There are plenty of reasons to bust Capcom's balls, but this is not one of them. This game is still proof that there is still a market for these types of games.
No place for amateurs.
Number 6. Tales of Xillia 2. Honestly, and it pains us to say this, 2014 was not exactly a very strong year for the Tales franchise. From a less than stellar Symphonia collection to a so-so Tales of Hearts remix. But Tales of Xillia 2 was the bright spot, continuing the story of Xillia, but this time through the eyes of its newest protagonist, Ludger Kresnik, who gets swept up in events that he couldn't possibly foresee. The adventure and the side missions are quite fun to progress through. The game features a battle system similar from the previous entries. The familiar faces of the original game return in supporting roles as well. Xillia 2 may not be a must-get title, but for the fans of Tales of Xillia, it does a great job of expanding on the lore, and it's still a very worthy addition to the Tales series. And personally, I enjoyed it a whole lot. Number 5. Mario Kart 8.
Even when you're down in the dumps, Mario just has a way of making things better. And this is very true with the Mario Kart series, and Mario Kart 8 kept up that tradition. The racing is just as fun as ever, with numerous memorable characters, cars, wheels, and other options to upgrade your ride. Not to mention the great tracks for you to compete in, and plenty of tricks, cool, and cheap, to make things more interesting. Unfortunately, over time, glitches and cheats were exploited by people online, making that experience a bit of a drag. But playing with friends, this game is still a blast. Racing around with the cast of the Mushroom Kingdom and a special guest from Hyrule is just as fun now as it was back in the good old Super Nintendo days. Haters gonna hate, Mario's gonna accelerate.
Number 4. The Evil Within.
Nowadays, it's so hard to find good survival horror games. The Evil Within is a sophisticated new edition in which it pays homage to classics from the genre while updating them in a slick manner. This game combines the weapon system from Resident Evil, the atmosphere of Silent Hill, and the melee and upgrade system from Dead Space. As Sebastian, a city detective, you must travel through every monster movie ever made. He and the other characters in this game are not your standard dum-dums you would normally find. They're all well realized and three-dimensional, with a strong narrative, good graphics, great combat, and straight-up disturbing areas. The Evil Within is a scary and exciting trip into darkness.
Number 3. Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix. Just like Kingdom Hearts 1.5, Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD brought to us the Game of the Year editions of the second leg of the saga, featuring Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Plus, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and a movie version of Kingdom Hearts Recoded. And it is glorious! The graphics again are cranked up, presenting these masterpieces in a beautiful way like never seen before. And of course, the trademark Kingdom Hearts music is ever so present. As always, the tracks usually make everything so much sweeter. The gameplay is tweaked slightly, but it still remains overall the same. And there is far more challenges presented in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix for us to accomplish. Although, some are real ass kickers. Square Enix did not make a good decision spreading the series across multiple platforms, which made it difficult, if not impossible, for a lot of the fans to completely follow it. However, these HD remix collections give us all a chance to experience the entire story as we gear up for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a wonderful and a very affordable set of top quality games that should not be missed out by anyone. Number 2. Bayonetta 2.
Now, there were games that came out this year that were highly anticipated. There were games that people would be ready to give their kidney for. And then, there was Bayonetta 2. From hack and slash shop Platinum Games, this action title proved that the Wii U wasn't just for kids. As the Madam of Mayhem herself, Bayonetta, you once again destroy armies of angels with a humongous arsenal, from pistols and whips and other things that we don't know, but does it matter? They're all just so damn awesome. I mean, look at this. Those hyperactive combos. Oh, they never get old. With an entertaining cast of characters, wild story, and of course, extremely satisfying music, this game did not just meet expectations, it stomped on them, slapped them around, tortured them, ripped them into tiny little pieces. It may not be for the kids, but Bayonetta 2 hits its mark as a true rip-roaring adventure for mature audiences. Thank you, Nintendo, for this bountiful gift.
Number 1. Super Smash Bros. Was there ever any doubt? All of the mainstays from Nintendo's vast catalog returned to beat the tar out of each other once again. Why? Who knows? Who cares? While Brawl may not have lived up to Melee's high marks, this latest edition came pretty damn close, if not exceeding it. There are tons to do in this game. Plenty of modes and challenges to keep all of the players coming back for more. From trophies to collect, stages to build, and characters to unlock. Speaking of which, look at the characters. This could be the greatest roster in the history of fighting games.
Highlighted by me, of course. I'm the reason this game is so good. It's the best game since Gyromite.
Rob, enough! Besides, we were gonna say Mega Man.
Aw, you guys suck.
With fighting mechanics that anybody can jump in and play, it is truly the party game of all party games. It's innocent fun that everyone on the face of this planet can enjoy. And to us, it deserves the top spot, the biggest trophy, and the #1 slot for the best game of 2014. Not to mention, it's got its own toy line. Get them while they last. Now, some of you might be complaining that this might have been a predictable choice, but honestly, predictability isn't a bad thing. So let live and be happy and enjoy Super Smash Bros. 4.
Don't you think it's time to wrap this up? By the time this video is over, it'll be 2016.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Now, don't you feel better letting others get involved?
I feel like I got set up.
Well, geez, I wonder why that's the case.
What was that?
Oh, nothing.
Hey, don't fight. It was a fun collaboration. Though I guess we did kind of give William a little bit of a tough time. William, now that it's the new year, what's going to be your next review?
Huh? Well, I did just get a new game in the mail recently. I figured, why not cover Sailor Moon? I mean, Sailor Moon Crystal's doing pretty hot right now, and, well, nobody's a bigger Sailor Moon fan than me. I mean, I grew up with the thing.
Is that so?
Uh-oh, this could get ugly. I'm out.
Game over, man! Game over!
Nah, he done f***ed up now.
Bad choice. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I'm your co-host, Eugene Morris.
And, well, I'm your host with the most, William Morris. Well, thank you guys so much for having a great year with us on the Brotherhood of Gaming. And, well, be sure to join us in the new year. You can follow us on Facebook, Google, Twitter, and all of that great stuff. And be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because there's some stuff for you to check out.
Now, before this video ends, I want to give a huge shout out to the awesome guests who are willing to join in this collaboration, and you can click on their names as you see them right here and directly subscribe to their channels. First off, we have Aurora Peachy, known for her Sailor Moon reaction videos and her Guild Wars videos. She's a real sweetheart, be sure to go and check her out. Next, we have Ace Gamer, who does a series of video game related videos with his own comedic twists. Then there's Wizwar, whom also does his own form of game review shows with an in-depth explanation to boot. Be sure to check him out as well. And of course, last but not least, one of my personal best friends whom you guys know as Vash, who focuses primarily on Let's Plays and puppet shows. Be sure to check him out if you already haven't, and follow him as well. Be sure to check all of them out, have a wonderful new year, and we will see you next time.